A key player to keep an eye on is goalie Dawson Walls, a senior presence on the roster. He has done a fantastic job of making sure that this team can stay in games late on throughout the matchups this year.
With 37 saves with a 60% save rate, he's going to be key in defending this high-flying Washington offense.
Another guy you want to bat for is Bodie Callison, a sophomore on the roster, but already making his presence very well known early on so far this season. He has done an awesome job making sure that everybody knows who he is at all times on the roster.
He leads the team in goals, ground balls, and forced turnovers. He has 6 goals on only 12 shots. He's going to be key today for this Oregon State offense.
Well, welcome to Student Legacy Park. I'm Nick Munoz, joined here by Brady Elliott. It's a good matchup today, a former Pac-12 rivalry between the Oregon State Beavers and the Washington Huskies. Brady, this, even though it no longer counts as a Pac-12 matchup, there's still bad blood in the water, I feel like, between these two teams. So how are you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I'm excited for this matchup today. Both teams coming in at 0-4 on the season, looking for a win. But I expect aggressiveness, physicality on both sides of the field, and I'm ready for goals.
This is going to be a fun one. Over the last 5 games, OSU currently is on a 4-game losing streak in their actual, I guess, on-season matchups, but they are coming off of an asterisk win, a 19-2 beatdown against Idaho. Although it is a scrimmage and doesn't technically count for rankings and playoff seeding, you got to imagine it's a confidence booster, being able to just absolutely sweep the legs of that Idaho team.
Scoring 19 goals is really big for your confidence, especially even though it's a scrimmage. That means other players got involved, other players that aren't used to scoring goals, scored goals, and that's really going to boost their confidence coming into this game today.
Absolutely. That is a huge confidence booster. I feel like even if it doesn't count, the fact that you came out and you performed that well, that has to just carry over into your next matchup undeniably. Well, moving over to starting lineup, we already previously mentioned goalie Dawson Walls. On the defensive side, you have Colby Noah, Seth Looney, Jones Colby, and Aiden Pedro. At midfield, you have Hank Vanderbrake, Bodie Callison, the previously mentioned sophomore breakout star, and Gage Miller. Along with on the attack side, you have Alex Kamalion, Leo Mendelson, and Dallas Shaban. This is a very young team. Walls is one of the few seniors on the roster. This group of guys is going to have to come out and really make their presence known against a Washington team who has a lot more senior players on their roster and who has been performing at a higher level so far this season.
For the Washington lineup, we have not been able to confirm their starting lineup, but I assume they will be playing with their normal starting 11 today.
Absolutely. When you score 40 goals, there's really nothing you can really change up on that. So I'm assuming the same guys will be out here as usual. Well, this is going to be a fun one. No matter if it doesn't count as a Pac-12 matchup anymore, there is still a ton of velocity between these two teams that they want to come out and make their presence known early. We're going to come back from a quick break after this. But before that, I have to say this is going to be a really awesome matchup. I'm really excited to be able to get Lacrosse back here in Corvallis. So this is going to be really cool to see. Currently, the Oregon State Beavers are warming up alongside the Washington Huskies. So we have an epic matchup today. Don't go anywhere here on KBVR TV. Welcome back to KBVR TV. We got a good matchup today with the Huskies and the Beavers, who are lining up to begin their face-off and get this matchup underway. Both teams are 0-4 on the season, looking to get their first official wins on the year, along with their first in-conference win as well.
I'd like to see a high-flying, aggressive gameplay today. I'm interested to see how this Oregon State Beavers can get some goals in the back of the net, try to get past that goalie and Ethan Martin for UW, and let's see how these teams play today.
Washington does have a very good back half. I know their goalie is very effective when it comes to stopping passes, 53.2 save rate. That's pretty dang good. This is a very effective team when it comes to being able to pull that off. So I feel like if this Beavers team is going to want to have a strong start, they're going to have to play more aggressive in the back half.
Definitely, Nick. Definitely, Nick. I think we're going to see from the Beavers a creative offense. We're going to see them making some plays, trying to make some space, and we'll see if they can get those ball in the back of the net.
It will have to come down to that. Whether or not both of these two teams can be able to open up their scoring offenses will have to come down to their front half, their midfield players, and their attackers being able to create, like you said, that was a pretty good way to word it, just create separation, being able to get away from these Washington defenders. This Husky team is a very impressive defensive team. I really think that if they can push come to shove here, get their first in regular play win on the season, and I think that they can do it by playing just good defense. This is a well-rounded defensive unit, and depending on how this start between this face-off will go, if they can get the ball in their hands first, this is 100% already in favor of the Huskies. It's because these two teams, very scrappy units. So who can ever get the ball first to start?
Definitely.
I know it's always like the generic way to say, oh, who gets the ball first always has an advantage. But in a matchup like this, when both of these two teams are so hungry for that first win, having that start with the ball in your possession is a instant just boost and leg up over your opponent.
Couldn't agree with you more, Nick. I think we got some Oregon State Beavers players that are looking to start off strong, start off early, and I'm looking to see Bodie Callison, as we mentioned in the pregame, with 6 goals on 12 shots on the year. That's a pretty good percentage.
That is a very good percentage.
I'm also looking for Hank Vandenbrake. He has 11 assists. He leads the team in assists, with the next player only having 3. So he's really kind of the point of the offense. He's really trying to dish the ball off to open players, and we'll see if we see that early.
And as we await the opening face-off between these two teams, it was a very energetic start when we saw warm-ups coming off, getting off the big way buses, but these rivalry in every facet of these two programs at every level, football, baseball, basketball, it doesn't matter. When you play the Huskies and you're a Beaver, or you're vice versa, there's a lot of energy going into it. There's a lot of aggression going into it, just because the fact is that, yeah, you no longer aren't technically rivals, but you're never. History never leaves.
Definitely. I think, both these teams want to start off early, start off strong, kind of maybe set the other team. These teams, they really have nothing to lose. I think they gotta, start early and start strong.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to put it. They do not have nothing to lose here. They're already at a not unforgivable hole, but being 0-4 to start the year is one that very much is going to have to be one they need to climb out of here. As we break away, sending both our goalies out, as we are about to have this matchup set underway and begin this matchup.
Very excited. It's a nice day at Student Legacy Park. Hearing some screaming from both benches. Seems like we're getting some cross.
It's a very good day for lacrosse to be played today, as both two teams face off. Men head to the middle of the field as we await the opening face-off.
Caden Allen, number 30 for the Beavers, facing off. Seems like he won it.
It's scooped away right off the bat by the Huskies. Moving out to the audience sideline. Quick pass back over. Ball remains in Husky position. The attack is quick for the Huskies, already well into Beaver territory.
I'm interested to see how the Huskies want to control possession here, see if they, early on, if they want to keep the ball in their nets, and see if they can get some quality shots early on.
Behind the X, still possession in favor of the Huskies. This is Dane Forner with fire and be out of bounds. Attempted to hit the corner shot over Wall's right shoulder, but it will fly out of bounds and be picked up back by the Huskies. Shooting over the net, misses his initial man. Back to the Huskies. This is By. Throws back out behind these. Still possession for Washington. Checks his shaft, loses the ball. Recovered by Oregon State, trying to switch the field here. Tosses back out, remains in possession of the Beavers. Deflects off of a Husky stick and goes back into his own. Loses the ball.
Little chaotic here, Nick, early on.
Early start.
Beavers get possession.
Sending the ball back out into the field of play. Switching fields now onto the Husky side. Possession now with the Beavers in the X. Trying to get something going here. Good defense by Huskies. On. Out to Bo Allison.
Now we're seeing Oregon State kind of control that possession now that they got the ball. See if they can get a quality couple shots here and see if they can get one in the back of the net.
Vanderbreak. Back out to Callison. Holds onto the ball. Moves past the crease. Throws back into the X. Gets it back to himself. Trying to find something here. Great coverage by the Huskies. One-on-one. Checking him. Loses the ball. Recovered by the Huskies. Great check there by the senior Husky players.
Tough break there for Callison, but I like the aggressiveness there.
Absolutely.
Unfortunate turnover.
Back well into Beaver territory. Takes the shot and gets it. Striking home. And the Huskies draw first blood.
Great little transition offense there. Richie Madoni with the goal. Great offense. Great pass up into the front of the crease and just easy goal with nobody in front of him.
And Washington gets points on the board first today. With a nice shot, pass over from his senior teammate, and is able to get it by Walls. Now, Dawson Walls, he has been amazing this season. He's been very productive for the Beavers, 52 saves, but he's also given away over 50 as well. So we're going to have to see a lot more of consistency there on Walls' part as the face-off break and possession loose. Ball on the ground still. Hasn't been picked up yet. Under feet. Being scooped up by the Beavers. Loses possession again. But will remain in OSU's hands. Being checked a few times. Trying to hold on to possession. Gets it out. They're still in their territory now. They got to flip the field, and they do.
Nice little fight there for the fielders for Oregon State, being able to battle and get that ball, and now they're in their own offensive territory. Let's see if they can get a good shot here.
In the X, back out to the team. OSU remains in control. This is Shaban. Back out to OSU. Trying to find something here. Vanderbreak. One-on-one with the Huskies. Showing early they're putting guys on islands here. Vanderbreak still trying to find a nice spin move. Throws back over to the X and will roll out of bounds.
Like that aggressive play there from Vandenberg. Maybe trying to find somebody open, but in the end, just stay shooting there, and Beavers retain possession. See if they can get another shot here.
Back to Vanderberg. Just falls down, trying to get something going, but loses the ball and is scooped up by the Huskies. Trying to flip the field here. Lob pass, too high for his man. Ball in play here, and it'll make it in. The Huskies, loose ball, could not get a handle on it at first, but they're able to scoop it up in the end and fire home.
That's a tough sequence for the Beavers. Unfortunate there that ball kept rolling and ended up in a Huskies stick, and two guys there with only one defender. That's going to end up in the back of the net.
Blake Hardison, nice shot with the overhand putter as the Oregon State Beavers now trail 2 on here in this match.
Blake Hardison is the leading scorer for UW, and we could see that there on that great little transition offense, defense to offense, and ended up back in the back of the net.
That was a really good play of events there for Washington. We saw that the ball was loose on the ground for a while. They just simply no one could get toward it, a sea of black and purple, and eventually Hardison was able to come up with it and was able to finish off his possession strong. And now the Beavers are already in an early hole. And one of the big things that we need to keep in mind is just losing the ball. They've just been not able to keep a handle on it. Whenever the ball gets knocked out in the shaft of their stick and lose control. And we've seen now several loose balls that have been picked up by the Huskies in Beaver territory. So possession is definitely going to happen for OSU.
Yeah, I think we're seeing maybe a little jittery on. I think we're seeing a little a little chaotic. But and as we've seen a couple players surf. So hopefully people can get their feet under them. And yeah, I mean, not a great start for the Beavers. Exactly what the Huskies want, but a lot of ball game left. And we're going to get ready for a face-off right here.
10:55 left in this first quarter. 2-0 game. Washington leading the Oregon State Beavers, as they will head over to the face-off. Caden Allen up against the Huskies, with Will Peter look and setting to receive.
I'm hearing Coach John Boyer telling his team, this Oregon State team, to get loud on that bench and not be afraid to, yell and scream and get some energy into this team that's struggled a little bit early.
Get checked and loses the ball, drops the stick back in the Husky possession. What a nice check by the Huskies, dropping the stick and being able to get a hold of the ball back in possession. We'll see sub-ins here.
Perfect defensive play there. Perfectly hit that stick, losing the ball, and now we can see the Huskies holding possession right here.
That was a great check by the Huskies, losing control of the ball and now back in possession. This is Nick Glannon tossing over into the X. They're behind the crease now, trying to get back into the goal here. This early 3-0 lead. Back out to Glannon. Trying to get something going here. Huskies maintain possession. Back out to Glannon again. 1-1. Looks to shoot. Nice check by the Beavers. Strong check by OSU's defense. That was Brock Pippinger, one of the team's captains. Oregon State trying to flip possession here, and we'll hear whistles.
Great defensive play there for Brock Pippinger. Exactly what Oregon State needed here, keeping this offense. Believe there's going to be a penalty on the Beavers.
There is a penalty. It'll be for slashing. We'll see on the replay soon who it was, but one of the Beavers got a little too handsy, as we will see OSU lose one of their starters to head over to the penalty box. This is Colby Noah, as he will be sat out for a moment, being subbed in now. Possession goes to the Huskies. This is Dane Foreigner with possession. Back out to himself. Husky retain. Trying to get something going here. Loose coverage. Take a shot and he'll miss. Great deflection by what could have been a disastrous play.
Great defense there from Walls. Able to block that shot being a man down, and now we got the Beavers retaining possession.
OSU still holding on. Long pass out over. Taken away by the Huskies. Nice catch there by Foreigner. Sends over and scores. What a takeaway by Foreigner. Dane Foreigner, nice turnover. Steals it right under the Beavers' noses and is able to find his man to connect for the score.
We're seeing a lot of early turnovers from the Beavers. A little sloppy play here, and those turnovers are turning into points. And so, the Washington Huskies are taking advantage of that and doing well here early on, exactly how they wanted to start.
Blake Hardison gets his second point of the game scored off his second goal, as the face-off is set to break here. Fighting for the ball into Washington territory, not retaining, as we hear whistles, and ball will go in favor of the Huskies.
Not the start that the Beavers would like to see. Tough start for these attackers on the Beavers. Not a lot of activity on that end. So let's see if this defensive side can really clamp down, get a few stops, see if Wells can get a few blocks. And it was a nice little poke turnover there for the Beavers. See what they can do here.
Being able to catch their breath for a sec, slips and is able to get it away, but too high, misses his man and goes right into the cup of a Washington State Husky. Back out to the corner, right on the tip of the X. Back to possession around midfield, back into the X. Huskies will retain possession here. Behind the crease, slips, getting tripped up. Good defense there by OSU. It's Seth Looney in coverage. One-on-one, trying to find a man. He'll shoot and it's deflected by Walls. He'll shoot again and goes outside. Back to back good defensive plays by Dawson Walls in the goal.
This is a tough sequence for the Beavers, trying to get a stop here and retain that possession and not having another turnover. They forced a turnover here. Nice play.
Good turn of events now for OSU, just attempting to flip the field, getting open to a wide open Oregon State Beaver. Shoots and it'll lose it as we hear whistles and the Washington sideline erupts. They did not like that series of events as they'll flip back over to possession, trying to get something here. He'll fire. Great block by Wells. Another great defensive stop by Walls. Wide open run for the Huskies as Foreigner tries to attempt his second shot of the day, but Walls says that's not going to happen.
Quick transition there for the Huskies, going from defense to offense super quickly and almost put that in the back of the net, but Wells stepped up and got that stop. Beavers retain possession now.
Oregon State now in Husky territory, attempting to get something going here. See what they can get on this series of events. Stillmark, one of their captains, in possession, trying to find something here. Throws it out to his man in the crease. In the X. One-on-one, nice spin move again. Will fire and will roll out of bounds.
Great pass there, finding the open man right in front of the crease. Just not able to convert on that goal, but great pass. And I like seeing this a lot more possession from the Beavers here. Maybe kind of controlling those passes, being a little less sloppy, and let's see if they can get multiple shots on a possession and not just one and then move off to play defense. So,
good attempt by Colby Noah there on the shot. I like the aggressiveness there. Pass back out to Noah, trying to get something here. Triple team and loses it. Retained by the Huskies. A little under 5.5 to go as they will flip the field, find an open man around the crease and hits home. 4-0 Washington. OSU is falling behind here a little too early for their liking, as this is now getting a little out of control. Will Russell, his first goal of this afternoon.
Tough transition defense there. Just too many men wide open in front of the crease, and you're going to find somebody open there if, nobody's there. So great play for UW. This is exactly the start they wanted after being 0-4 and couldn't ask for anything better.
Great job of spreading the offense out for Washington. They've done a great job of getting the ball out to other people's hands as whistles will fly here for movement. OSU will retain possession. One-on-one in coverage, gets checked a few times, moves into the X. Great coverage here by Peter. Back out to OSU, still with possession, trying to get at the corner of the crease. We'll go overhand pass back to his own man, out to Callison. See if they can find something here. Callison throws back out to Vanderbroek. Brook trying to get something. One-on-one. Nice move. Nice spin move again. Great movement here early on as Washington is able to play some good defense here around their crease, not giving anything up. Attempts to shoot overhand. Getting checked really well. Will fire out and does not retain possession. And it'll roll out of bounds. I like the attempt by Vanderbroek to get it to his man, but just tips off of the top of the stick just outside of the cup and will roll out of bounds. Recovered by OSU. Callison will fire and will be deflected.
Nice aggressive play there from Callison, not able to go back to the net, but we need to see some shots from the Beavers.
We definitely need to see more attempts made. They have not been doing as well as you would expect. A little timid on their offensive tack, trying to get it into the goal. Back of the X now.
Beavers trying to set up on their defense, need to make sure they're communicating well and not fumbling on these open mans.
Already have 2 turnovers in their own territory, trying to avoid any more of that the rest of the game. And it'll find its way home. Another great offensive drive for the Washington Huskies. That was a strong play there by their offensive attack. And unfortunately, Dawson Walls is off to a rough start in this 0-5 hole that OSU has now found themselves in.
His defensive players aren't really helping him out there. leaving a lot of men open, but that one there, pretty savable. Unfortunate that it went in the back of the net, but let's see if we need the Beavers to kind of settle down and see if they can retain this possession and hold for a quality shot, not just a forced shot.
Is Julian Gardner on the goal attempt. A little under 3.5 to go here in the first quarter. OSU trailing by 5. Have to get something going here in order to make this game a little more salvageable down the stretch. Beavs with possession. Trying to find someone here. Looney.
Not seeing much movement from the Beavers on the offensive side. I'm hearing coach yell out to them, move, 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 but seems a lot like running around, and then another forced turnover there by UW.
Loose ball and recovered. Great stop there by the Huskies. It was Nick Glannon knocking it out. Connor Bye with possession now. Throwing it back out. Still possession for Washington. Corner of the crease. Dawson Walls is on edge here. I'd imagine some early game jitters really getting to him. Trying to find something going on the outside. Back out to Bye. Looking for a man. Throws out into the X. One-on-one. Good defense here by Looney. Keeping him boxed out in the X. Will throw back over to his man. This is Connor Bye again. Bye looking to attempt a shot. Getting checked. This is a long offensive drive here for getting checked again and loses the ball, but Bye will recover for the Huskies. Huskies retaining possession, trying to shake his defender. OSU playing tight coverage around the goal. Checking it back out. Attempting to shoot it, and it'll bounce outside of the crease. Recovered by OSU, and we hear whistles fly.
Great defensive possession there for the Beavers. A lot of gang tackling in a sense, getting on their man that has the ball, and nice defensive play there, but it's still going to stick with the Huskies. But like that activity on the defensive end, maybe we can see that transfer over to the offensive end.
Strong defense by OSU here early, and nice tip by Walls. That could have been awful. Picking off the ball and proceeding to fire it with all his might, but recovered immediately back to Washington. OSU was able to get possession for a second, but loses Bye. Back out to Hardinson, who already has 2 on the day. Possession will now switch to OSU. Make sub-ins on the sideline now. Starting to see players come in and out. This is Hoops coming in off the bench. Back of the X now for Washington. Trying to find something. Finds a man. With under a minute to tick now. Getting checked on the corner. OSU has to find something here if they want to at least put this quarter away and make it somewhat productive. Vanderbrook. Back over to Stillmark.
Let's see if the Beavers can kind of get a set play here, make some quality passes through the crease as we see
a loose ball
turnover.
And recovered by Washington. My goodness. 5 turnovers on the day for OSU, recovered by Washington, making a deep drive OSU territory. Back in possession of the Beavers. Wide open man, attempts the shot and gets it. OSU in relief and release a sigh of relief. Nice shot there for Oregon State as they find their first points of the day.
Perfect shot there, exactly how you want to end the quarter. With only 3 seconds left. Great shot, great open pass, and made the shot.
Cam Lee gives this team a break as we can now head back to the face-off.
Hearing some energy from the Beaver bench now that they got that point on the board. Let's see if they can really take advantage of that, try to switch the momentum here.
There's a few seconds left this quarter that we'll let play out. Live ball in the air, and that'll mark it. Nice attempt by OSU to make something happen there, but it's not giving. Oregon State in an early hole here, 1-5 to the Washington Huskies. This is a nasty hole. They have to find a way to climb out of this one in these upcoming quarters if they have any chance of winning this one, as Washington takes an early lead here as the Washington Huskies lead the Oregon State Beavers 5-1. Thank you for tuning in to KBVR TV. We will be right back. Oregon State trailing 1-5 against the Washington Huskies. This is not exactly the way you want to start this matchup for OSU if you're the Beavers.
Definitely not. I think that was a great way to end that quarter, but throughout that whole quarter, we saw a lot of turnovers, a lot of passes in transition that just weren't to the right man. And we saw UW take advantage of that early, with 5 goals in that first quarter. So let's see if the Beavers can switch that up in this quarter and take advantage of that strong ending of the first quarter.
Face-off go in favor of the Huskies early on. Possession will remain with Washington. Breaking away at the corner of the field. Back in midfield now. Huskies will hold on. This is Russell possession. Looking to see someone get open. Getting checked a bit by OSU. Nice check. Attempts to shaft. And good deflection by Walls. Dawson Walls definitely stepped up. This game already given 5 goals in the first quarter alone.
Great. Now we'll see the Beavers, little sketchy pass there, but able to take it, and let's see if they can hold possession.
Flipping the field, OSU in possession now. Out back to Bodie Callison. Callison trying to get something going here, flipping it back out to his man. Hayden with possession now. Back to Callison. Corner of the field, moving into the X. One-on-one. Will go for the shot, and it is over the goal and out into the X, and will roll out of bounds.
Like that aggressiveness from Callison. Like to see him take that shot there and pass it off, because he had a little open lane, but I like this aggressiveness going to the goal and just not able to get there.
Braden Terrio loses the ball, and the Huskies will retain as Callison one-on-one with his man, breaks free, loses possession, and recovered by the Huskies in the X. As whistles will fly, we're trying to see what this penalty is for.
Believe it's going to be on the